We just got this announcement that Matthew Lillard will be returning to the Scream franchise for the upcoming Scream 7 as Stu Macher. Now, longtime fans of the franchise might be wondering how this is going to happen because he was supposedly killed in the first movie, yet they're talking about bringing him back. Now, there are some theories surrounding how they can bring the character back, and other ideas I think are better than others. But first, let's look at this article from Deadline that's talking about it before I give you more of my thoughts on what I think they plan on doing for the upcoming Scream 7. So the headline from Deadline, Matthew Lillard is coming back for Scream 7. Matthew Lillard, who played Stu Macher in the first 1996 Scream movie, is returning to the franchise for Spyglass Paramount's Scream 7. How is that possible? We will see. Does Stu have a twin? Doesn't look like it from Lillard's Instagram post. And the Instagram post in question is this one right here. It was just this simple video. I got this from Discussing Film here. So he posted it with just writing a note that says, my mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. Because, that's line he used in the first movie. So obviously hinting at coming back this Scream when it comes to something like this. And now we got this actual announcement that, yes, it's confirmed that he is returning for the role. So it does go on to say the last time he was seen was 29 years ago for the first movie before he basically died. I mean, he got stabbed quite a few times and then he got a TV dropped on his head. It looked like he was pretty much done because for the younger people out there back in the 90s, TVs were massive and they weighed a lot. If one dropped on your head, you probably wouldn't survive that one. But apparently there's some theories that have gone around for some time that he actually did survive that. But more on that in a moment. Scream launched his career. Okay. The actor joins legacy cast members Nev Campbell and Courtney Cox, as well as Scott Foley. And that's another interesting run right there too, because Scott Foley plays Roman Bridger, the killer in the third Scream movie. And he very much died in that movie. I believe he even got shot in the head in that movie. So there really shouldn't be any surviving that. So having these characters come back, it leads me to believe, because one of the things when it comes to the first Scream movie is that was the one that set everything in motion. And then in Scream 3, when that comes around, Scott Foley's character Roman reveals that he actually is the one who pretty much got Stu and Billy to set out on their whole mission to kill Sydney and her mom. So because of that revelation that he was kind of pulling the strings behind the scenes, I'm thinking that's probably what they're going to be doing when it comes to this movie. I doubt they're actually going to have their characters come back and be alive. I think it's mostly just through flashbacks. They're probably going to do some de-aging and other things like that on them because that technology exists. And we saw them use that for the last couple Scream movies. I mean, they brought back Skeet Ulrich for the last couple movies and they de-aged him for that. That was in Hallucinations or something. I mean, maybe they're going to do that with Stu. But I think it probably is just going to be flashbacks. I think there's going to be some more revelations about the past and everything like that. And that's why they're bringing back Scott Foley and Matthew Lillard for those scenes. Maybe Skeet Ulrich is going to join them too. We don't know, but to me, that's the most plausible scenario why they're having him back. It's not super exciting, but I'm fine with that. But obviously they're trying to lean into this whole Stu survived angle because that's been a rumor that's been floating around for a while. Supposedly Kevin Williamson, who was the director of this movie, he wrote a treatment for Scream 3 where it would have turned out that Stu actually survived and he was kind of orchestrating a cult of followers from his prison cell. I don't necessarily think they're going to do that approach. Like I said, those are rumors that were attributed to Kevin Williamson. He has kind of denied it, but also leaned into it. So we don't know about it. As far as Matthew Lillard, though, he's kind of perpetuated that whole Stu actually survived. This article that came out a few years ago from Vulture was an interview with Matthew Lillard and Skeet Ulrich, who both played Billy and Stu in the first movie. And listen to the end of this interview right here. Where is it? Okay. So the interviewer asked him, do you have anything to say to the Stu truthers who say he survived? And Matthew Lillard says, yeah, I'm the grandfather of Stu truthers. You're the queue of Stu Truthers. Yes, I would love to be. I was supposed to be do Scream 3. I got paid for 3, not really well, but I ended up getting paid for something I didn't do because the idea was that I'd be running a high school killers from jail. Look, it's a horror movie. Crazy things happen all the time. Have you seen Friday the 13th? Jason comes back. Like, Stu could still come back. And he also says in this article, like, how they're, or this interview, when they're talking about how he was stabbed a bunch of times too before he had the TV fall on his head, saying like, oh, you would bleed out. And he goes, no one bleeds out in movies. They always find a way to cauterize it or whatever. It's like, okay, that's kind of funny. And yes, they do have that. It's a common thing in movies. If you don't actually see the person die or see him like get decapitated or shot in the head or whatever, it's like they're going to find some way of bringing him back. I don't think that's what they're going to do with this one. Or if they do, I think it'd be incredibly dumb to have him come back and it turns out like, oh no, he was just in prison this whole time. And they're going to try to dust off that supposed treatment for Scream 3 in order to have him orchestrating some killers behind the scenes from his prison cell. Because first of all, I think it would have been brought up at some point now if he actually did survive. And there really hasn't even been hints about it. It's just been people speculating online. So I don't think they're really going with that approach. Even if it was a treatment by Kevin Williamson back in the 90s and then he's directing this one, so he could be wanting to dust that off and try it again. But I personally am not buying that angle for this. I think it probably is just going to be some flashbacks and just reveal some more information about the past and have that tie into the new killers. I don't think they're going to have a twin or anything like that. Maybe they might do some hallucinations with him or something, but I think it is just going to be, if for people at least who want to see him come back as the killer for this one, I think they're going to be disappointed. But personally, I mean, as someone who, I didn't hate the last couple Scream movies, but I didn't like them as much as I liked the original movie. So from that perspective, I do like that they're leaning more heavily into the traditional Scream movies, like the original trilogy versus what we've seen come after. At least that's the impression I'm getting when it comes to this movie. So if that's what they're going for, I'm all for it. I'm just kind of curious what they're actually going to do with this, but this is something that I am interested in seeing when it comes out. But let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Are you one of the Stu Truthers out there who thinks that he actually survived it and they're going to have him be one of the killers or be someone, I don't know, are they going to be redoing that script that that treatment that supposedly happened for Scream 3? Or do you think it's going to be like I say, where it's just going to be like some flashbacks and hallucinations or something like that? Pretty unremarkable, but still a way to get Matthew Lillard back in the franchise. Comment below. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share this video out there because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.